Hello students, welcome back. So today I am dealing with the problem related to the Faraday's laws. Last class we have studied Faraday's laws. There were two, first Faraday laws, second Faraday laws. Then we have studied regarding the Faraday's modern law. Now today we are doing the application on the based on the Faraday's law. The application is based on the problems. Clear? So see, today's topic is problem based on Faraday's laws. Clear? You can copy out the question by taking the screenshot. The question says, see here, in the electrolysis of aqueous solution of CuCl2. So here the electrolyte I am taking is CuCl2. Clear? So from this CuCl2, copper is deposited on negative electrode, that is on cathode, and chlorine gas is liberated on the positive electrode, that is on anode. And I told you, the metal will deposit on cathode and gas will liberate at anode. Okay. Now at 300 Kelvin temperature, so temperature they have given, see here, and 1 bar pressure, how much copper and chlorine will be liberated? So you have to find the how much copper, means amount of copper and chlorine. Okay, and if 2 ampere current is given, I is passed for time is given 1 hour, and certain constant they have given, constant like Faraday, CuCl. Now please make a note here, R. Please remember, in this type of a problem based on Faraday's laws, always take R value as 0.08314 if they have given or if they have not given. Please remember this, always the value of R should be 0.08314 bar per liter per mole per Kelvin. Clear this part? Now see here. One thing more I will tell you, see the time. Always maintain the time in seconds. Point number 2. See here. Now they have shown here how much copper and chlorine. Now it's very clearly mentioned that copper is a solid in state. Yes or no? Copper will be solid in state, whereas chlorine is a gas. So when copper is a solid in state and chlorine is a gas, so gas cannot be measured in kg or gram. So gas should be measured in volume. So here how much copper and chlorine means the question is trying to tell us calculate the amount of copper in terms of gram and calculate the amount of chlorine in terms of ml or liter. Please remember this, how much copper and chlorine. So copper is a solid in state, whereas chlorine is a one type of a gas. Clear? So copper should be calculated in terms of a gram, whereas chlorine is a gas, it should be calculated in terms of ml or volume. Means here we required V and here we required M. Clear? That is, here we will, for calculating V, you can see a temperature is given, pressure is given, we can calculate N, we have R, we have a T, means we will use PV equal to nRT. See the simple concept. Clear? And here how much copper? Copper means I need a mass. So what I will do, I will try to determine the mole of the copper, and from mole I determine the mass, because you know mole equal to weight upon molecular weight. Last class also I have told you. Clear this part? So I will start the problem. Please first you write down the complete question, be ready with your book. See, I will use your calculator, you should not use the calculator, you should practice without calculator only. Clear? Please copy the question. I hope you have copied the question. I will start the problem now. So see here, in the electrolysis of an aqueous solution of CuCl2, means here electrolyte is given is CuCl2, is deposited on negative electrode and chlorine is deposited on the positive electrode at 300 Kelvin temperature, means temperature they have given 300 Kelvin and 1 bar pressure, means pressure how much they have given, 1 bar. How much copper, means mass of copper. I told you no, copper is a solid, so I have to calculate mass. And chlorine is a one type of a gas, so gas should be calculated in volume. So V of Cl2 will be liberated if 2 ampere current, I equal to 2 ampere current is passed for time. This small t indicate time. Time is 1 hour, but always the time should be taken in terms of second, that is 3600 seconds. Clear? Okay. Now first we will calculate for the copper. Ready everyone? Have you taken your book? See here now. First see the complete problem, then copy it. See here. So for copper, students, in CuCl2, if you see CuCl2, crack it, you will get Cu plus 2 and Cl minus. So in CuCl2, Cu is in term of Cu plus 2. Means this will undergo reduction. So Cu plus 2 will undergo reduction. So what I will do, first I will write down Cu plus 2. So for copper, Cu plus 2 electron gives what? Cu solid. Clear? Net charge is here is 0. See, plus 2 minus 2 0. Here also 0. Now last class we know number of moles of electron is nothing but a what? Faraday. Yes or no? 1 Faraday equal to what? 1 mole of electron. 2 Faraday means 2 mole of electron. So I can say here, I will give the stoichiometry relation which says 2 Faraday, here 1 mole. Means when I written the copper Cu plus 2, why I have written here Cu plus 2? Because the electrolyte they have given is CuCl2. In CuCl2, Cu is in term of Cu plus 2. So this Cu plus 2 I want to deposit copper, no? So this Cu plus 2 has to undergo reduction. It will gain 2 electron and forms what? Cu solid. So 2 Faraday, when I supply the 2 Faraday, I will get how much mole? I will get 1 mole of copper. Now I have to determine how much copper, means I have to determine the amount of copper, means I have to determine number of moles of copper. So in question what I have to determine? I have to determine number of Faradays. So you see here how much current they are given. I know Q equal to IT. Yes or no? Q equal to IT. Current how much they have given? 2. And I told you always take time in seconds, that is 3600 seconds. That is 7200 Coulomb. Now I know 1 Faraday equal to 96500 Coulomb. I hope you remember. Last class we have done this. 7200 Coulomb. How much Faraday? Therefore number of Faradays equal to, I will get the answer as 7200 multiplied by 1 divided by 96500. I will get 0.0746 Faradays. Means in this question how much Faraday we are supplying? We are supplying 0.0746 Faraday. Now come back. Cu plus 2 electron is giving how much Faraday? Sorry, Cu plus 2 electron gives Cu. Means on supplying 2 Faraday, I am getting 1 mole. In actual problem, how much Faradays are applied? This much Faraday. So 0.0746 Faraday. How much mole I will get? So I will get moles of copper. So I will get here, you have to multiply by 1 and divide by 2. So you will get 0.0373 moles. Clear? What I have done, I have multiplied by 1 and divided by 2. So when I am supplying 2 Faraday, if I get 1 mole, so how much actually Faraday I am supplying from the question? Actual Faraday I supplied are 0.0746. So on supplying 0.0746 Faraday, how much moles I am getting? I am getting 0.0373 moles. After point you take 2-3 numbers. Now you know moles copper. From moles I have to determine what? Weight of copper. So I know one formula, that is weight of copper by molecular weight of copper. That is 0.0373. Now weight of copper divided by how much molecular weight of copper? 63.5 equal to 0.0373. So how much weight of copper I will get? I will get multiply by 0.0373 multiply by 0.0373 multiply by 63.5. The answer I will get is 2.4 gram. Actual answer is 2.36, but I am rounding off 2.6 gram. So weight of copper I will get is 2.6 gram copper. Clear this part? Clear? So actual gram I will get how much? 2.4 gram copper will be deposited. See what I have done? See, this problem will come for 4 marks. I know you are getting a bit confused, but this problem are very simple. You can see here which electrolyte they have given. They have given CuCl2. Okay. From CuCl2, I know CuCl2 I have to do the electrolysis. Here there is Cu and here there is chlorine. Cu is solid, chlorine is a gas. When I crack it, it is completely, before that also I told you in my videos that always metal get deposit on cathode and gas is liberated at anode. And at cathode reduction occurs and at anode oxidation occurs. So here I have done the same. Clear? So for copper, I know copper will reduction will occur. So I know Cu plus 2 electron gives Cu. Now according to the Faraday's modern law, I know 2 moles of electron means 2 Faraday. So I will develop a stoichiometry relation, that is 2 Faraday will produce how much mole? 1 mole. So on supplying 2 Faraday, 1 mole, actually how much Faraday I am supplying? So we have to calculate from this question. Actually we are supplying how much Faraday? This much Faraday we are supplying. So Q equal to, first I will calculate the coulomb. I know 1 Faraday equal to 96500 coulomb. So how much coulomb? 7200 actually coulomb we are supplying. In terms of Faraday, I got 0.0746 Faraday. On supplying, on writing here 0.0746 Faraday, I get the moles of copper through the stoichiometry relation. Moles of copper I got from moles to determine what? Weight. Very simple question, that is weight upon molecular weight. In this way, we have to calculate the amount of copper. I hope, please take it down. Then next we will go to the, next we will go to for chlorine. Clear? Now see here. I hope you have written this. Remember this, how much number of Faradays we are supplying? Number of Faradays were 0.0746. So how much supplying we have, how much actually we are supplying? So Faradays actually we are supplying 0.0746. Clear? Now see here for chlorine. Now in CuCl2, chlorine is in term of a what? Cl minus. Yes or no? CuCl2, Cu plus 2 and Cl minus. Clear? Now, so this is solid, this is metal, will undergo cathode and this will be acting as an anode. And in anode what occurs? Oxidation. So Cl minus will undergo oxidation. And oxidation means what? Loss of electron. So here the electron will be lost. So Cl minus was having 288. Yes or no? 17 means 287 and Cl minus means 288. Now from this one electron is lost. So what I will get? I will get here 287. Yes or no? Cl, what is chlorine atomic number? 17. 17 means what? 287. Clear? Now I have here Cl minus means how much? 287. Instead of 287, one electron I have gained. So 288. Now from this one electron is gone. So one electron is gone. So how much is remaining? 287. So 287 is something but for what? Chlorine. Now you know Cl is a diatomic molecule. So Cl cannot exist as a Cl. It will exist as a Cl2. So this is a chlorine gas. So this is the net oxidation reaction. Clear? Actually Cl minus lost one electron and will convert into Cl. But Cl does not exist as a Cl. It is a diatomic molecule. So Cl will form what? Cl2. Now see here, how many chlorine we have? We have 2. So I will put here 2. How much electron? Minus 2 charge. So here how much electron? 2 electron. Redox reaction. So this is the net oxidation reaction for chlorine. Now I need this because this is a chlorine ion. And what is liberated? Chlorine gas. So this is a chlorine gas. So I have to develop the stoichiometry relation between these two. So what I will write down? I will write down on supplying 2 electron means 2 Faraday. I get 1 mole of chlorine. Yes or no? See, on here how much moles are there? 1 mole. So on supplying 2 Faraday, I got 1 mole of chlorine. How much actually Faraday we have calculated? The actually Faraday calculated was 0.0746. So how much amount of chlorine? So moles of chlorine will be, please you don't use calculator, I will use calculator, 0.0746 multiplied by 1 divided by 2. I will get the answer 0.0373 moles. Clear, students? Now I have calculated the moles. Now I told you chlorine is a one type of a what? Gas. Yes or no? So gas cannot be calculated in terms of mass. Gas should be calculated in terms of volume. So who will give me the volume and mole relation? Ideal gas equation, that is PV equal to nRT. Yes or no? PV equal to nRT. Why? Because here chlorine is a gas. And see here from moles I can do directly calculate weight upon molecular weight. Molecular weight of chlorine they have given also. You would be thinking, sir, weight of chlorine calculate, but please remember chlorine is a gas. and gas cannot be calculated in terms of mass. In this problem, gas should be, if it is a gas, it should be always calculated in terms of a volume. So who will give the relation between the moles and the volume? That is ideal gas equation. So I will follow the equation PV equal to nRT. Now you can see a pressure they have given how much? 1 bar. Volume we have to calculate the V of Cl2. If I put here V of Cl2, N should be of Cl2. Yes or no? If I want to calculate V of Cl2, I have to supply moles of what? Cl2. So now see here, I will put the values. So pressure, how much pressure I have? Pressure I have 1, that is 1 bar, multiplied by volume of fluorine I required. Moles of fluorine, how much we have calculated? 0.0373 multiplied by R, how much I have? R I have 0.08314. Temperature, how much I have? Temperature, the question given is 300 Kelvin. Okay. Now see here students, very important, see a bar they have given R. So pressure also is given in bar. Now my suggestion is, always use the value of R in terms of a bar, that is 0.08314 bar liter per mole per Kelvin. If pressure in bar is given, well and good. If pressure in bar is not given, please convert pressure in bar. Don't convert this R value. R you always take as a 0.08314. Now when you calculate this volume of Cl2, the answer you will get is 0.0373 multiplied by 0.08314 multiplied by 300. Answer will get 0.9303. And see here students, R we have taken in terms of liter. So means volume will come in terms of liter. So volume of chlorine gas is 0.9303 liter, or if I multiply by 1000 I will get 930.3 ml. So this is the volume of chlorine which is liberated in this problem. Clear? This is a very important question, or you can add 930 also sometime. Clear? See, sometime what happens, sometime the answer may vary. Here instead of 930 it will be 932, 33 because of this value. You should maintain this first 2-3 numbers you should maintain. Okay. So this is the amount of chlorine liberated during the reaction. So I hope you have understood. Clear? What I have to do? See, whenever this type of a question comes, this question will come in exam nearly 3 to 4 marks. Okay. So very simple question, very easy question. Just to remember, whichever the electrolyte is given, you check it out, who will go at the anode, who will go at the cathode. Always metal will deposit at cathode and gas will be liberated at anode. Okay, on depositing on a cathode, metal will be deposited at cathode. You can write down the reduction reaction, and gas will be liberated at anode. You can write down an oxidation reaction. Clear? And from the reduction reaction, volume, chlorine is a gas. So gas, you have to use the equation PV equal to nRT, and for copper you have to use the number of moles. From the number of moles you can calculate for the mass of the metal liberated. Okay, so we'll go with the next question. Copy out the second question. Clear? Second question says, how many grams of copper and what volume of O2 will be liberated or obtained? So here we have a copper and we have a O2. Will be obtained at 300 Kelvin temperature, means temperature it is given, and 1 bar pressure by passing 10 ampere current for 193 minutes through an aqueous solution of CuSO4. Yeah. Efficiency of cell is also given. So what is this? Feeling difficulty? Very easy problem. Just write down the question, then we'll solve. Okay, I hope you written the question. Now see here. Here you have to understand the two new concept, and the concept is also bit easy. First concept is aqueous solution of CuSO4. So I have aqueous solution of CuSO4. Here, so when I crack this, I will get Cu plus 2 and SO4 2 minus. So Cu plus 2 will go at cathode. Clear? And SO4 2 minus will not go to anode. No. It will not go to anode for oxidation. Why? After this topic we will understand in detail. But just now you remember, aqueous solution of CuSO4 means, aqueous means water. So instead of SO4 2 minus, water will go at anode. Who will go at anode? Water. Why sir? Because aqueous solution. So H2O reduction potential value is more than the SO4 2 minus. I will explain in detail after this topic, but please remember for now that is for aqueous solution of CuSO4, Cu will go at cathode. I will explain after this topic, next lecture my this only. Plus just now you remember for aqueous solution of especially for copper sulfate, Cu plus 2 will go at a cathode, and at anode SO4 2 minus will not go. Who will go? H2O will go. H2O will go at anode, it will undergo oxidation, liberate O2, and from that we have to calculate O2. Clear this part? This is the first topic. Please, you can make a note here. Write down the note. During the aqueous solution of CuSO4, come on, write down. During the aqueous solution of CuSO4, oxidation will be of water. Oxidation will be of water instead of SO4 2 minus. Instead of SO4 2 minus. Write down the oxidation reaction of water. Please remember, in the future classes you will understand very completely. Just now for the problem, please remember that oxidation reaction for water. Please remember this reaction. So H2O will start to liberate the reaction, means will undergo oxidation, means it will lose the electron. Clear? When H2O loses the electron, first it will liberate O2 and then H plus. This is the net oxidation reaction. Balance the reaction. If I start to balance the reaction, how many oxygen? 2. So here 2, here 4, and here 4 electrons. Please, you have to, for now, you have to in short mug it up. That oxidation reaction for water is that water, if it does the oxidation, it will liberate O2. Okay, for oxidation, loss of electron has to taken, and when O2 is liberated, 4H plus also will be liberated. When you balance the reaction, you will get this reaction. Please remember, you have to remember this reaction. In future classes, you will understand in detail. So wherever in Faraday's type of a problem, if oxygen they are asking, wherever in Faraday's type of a problem, if they are asking the oxygen, remember water we have to take. What we have to take? Water oxidation reaction we have to take. It is a completely, remember, mug it up. That whenever in the question, if they ask you to find the volume of O2, oxygen given, or they ask you to find oxygen in the problem, guarantee whichever electrolyte they have given. You remember that at anodic part, minus part of that electrolyte will not come. At anodic part, water will come. Close your eyes and write down it. You will get complete full marks. Clear? Okay, now see here. So we'll start the problem. I hope you have written, or you can write down note also. Okay, if in a problem, write down. Chalo. If in a problem, they ask you to calculate the oxygen, volume of oxygen. If they ask you to calculate the volume of oxygen, always take anodic reaction of water. Always take anodic reaction of water to calculate oxygen. And I have given you the anodic reaction of water. Clear? Okay, so we will start here. So how many gram of copper? So copper means mass, because copper is a solid, so it will deposit in terms of a mass. What volume of O2? So V of O2, because oxygen is a gas and gas will be calculated in terms of volume, and here they have clearly mentioned will be obtained at 300 Kelvin temperature. The temperature they have maintained is 300 Kelvin. 1 bar pressure means pressure they have given is 1 bar. By passing 10 ampere current means I they have given 10 ampere. For 193 minutes, so time is given is 193 minutes, but we know time should be calculated in terms of seconds. So 193 into 60, 11580 seconds. Clear? Through an aqueous solution of a CuSO4, electrolyte they have given is CuSO4, aqueous. Okay, and I told you the story of aqueous solution of CuSO4. Detail I will explain in future classes. Okay, in this chapter itself it will come, so don't worry. Efficiency of a cell, what is this, sir? I will explain later on here in this problem only. Okay, efficiency, you know, you are a science student, it is mentioned in terms of an eta. So efficiency is equal to what? 80%. Now what is this? We will see this. Okay, this problem is very interesting. Please see this. Now we will start. First we will go with the copper. So for copper, you know, copper is a metal, yes or no? And when copper is a metal, it will undergo what? Reduction. So we write down the reduction reaction for copper. So Cu plus 2. Or before calculating the copper, we will calculate the Faraday's. It will help us. See here. So first we will calculate the Faraday's. You know Q equal to IT. How much current? 10. How much time? 11580. Okay, always time should be taken in seconds. So 11580 seconds. Sorry. So this is Q. Q is a charge. Charge will be calculated in a coulomb. Now we know 1 Faraday equal to 96500 coulomb. How much coulomb we have? 11580 coulomb. So how much Faraday? So number of Faraday we will calculate here is 11580 divided by 96500, 1.2 Faraday. Once more I repeat, please you don't use calculator, okay, because in your exam it's not allowed. So I calculate the Faraday is 1.2 Faraday. First I will do for copper. So see for the copper. Here, you know, copper in CuSO4 is in present in terms of Cu plus 2. So it will undergo reduction. So Cu plus 2 plus 2 electron will generate Cu solid. Now you know 2 moles of electron means 2 Faraday. How much moles of copper? 1. Means this stoichiometry relation says when I supply 2 Faraday I will get 1 mole of copper. Actually how much I am supplying? I am supplying 1.2 Faraday. So how much moles of copper? So moles of copper I will get 1.2 into 1 by 2, that is 0.6 mole I will get for copper. So actually the moles of copper I will get is 0.6. Clear now? Now you know copper is a solid, and when any solid part is there, it will deposit in terms of a gram. So I will write down these moles should be converted into gram. So how to convert? You know one formula, weight of copper by molecular weight of copper equal to 0.6. Now what is the weight of copper? We have to determine, we need it. What is the molecular weight of copper? Completely it is given in the question, 63.5 equal to 0.6. So I will get here 0.6 into 63.5. I will get 38.1 gram of copper. This is my answer. The weight of copper I will get is 38.1 gram. Clear? This is not an actual answer. Why, sir? Why? Because efficiency is given. Efficiency is given. So what is the role of efficiency? Now please remember here. See here, okay? So this is the weight of copper which I have calculated. That is 38.1 gram. Clear? Now see here. Now see here. It's very interesting. If I am speaking very fast, please comment me so that I can improve myself. See, I am a human being. I can make a mistake. If I do any mistake or if you are not comfortable with me, please comment on me so that I can improve myself. I don't want good comments. I need my improvement comments. Clear? Now see here. So weight of copper is 38.1 gram. Now, but the efficiency of cell is given. So what is the role of this? Remember one formula. Efficiency of a cell, that is eta. Efficiency of the cell, that is eta, equal to experimental mass by theoretical mass. Experimental mass by theoretical mass into 100, because efficiency is given in percentage, so I am multiplying by 100. This is the one formula, very short formula for efficiency, and the efficiency formula is experimental mass by theoretical mass into 100. Now this what we are calculating, the mass what we have calculated for the copper, that mass we have calculated using the formulas. So that is theoretical mass. But whenever efficiency in the question they have given, the given question, who has given question is expecting to give the answer of experimental mass, not of the theoretical mass. The mass which we have calculated is for what? It is theoretical mass. But we have to determine mass experimental when efficiency is given. If not given, let it be. But if efficiency is given, you have to use this formula. So how much efficiency they have given? That is 80. Experimental mass we have to determine. Now how much theoretical mass? Theoretical mass is 38. It is mass, see, efficiency experimental mass by theoretical mass, or experimental volume by theoretical volume, anything. In short, efficiency means experimental values by theoretical values. Whatever we are calculating in the problem, that are theoretical values. Clear? So okay, once more. So efficiency experimental by theoretical into 100. How much efficiency they given? 80. Okay, experimental mass, how much theoretical mass we calculated? We calculated 38.1 into 100. So when I calculated the experimental mass, I'll get the answer, that is 80 into 38.1 by 100. 80 into 38.1 by 100. So answer I will get 30.48 gram. This is my net answer for copper. Clear? So actually weight of copper deposited was what? 38.1 gram actually. Clear? But this was the experimental mass. But, sorry, theoretical mass. But in the question they have given the efficiency. When they have given the efficiency means we have to use it. So efficiency formula is experimental by theoretical. What if we are calculating the mass using the formula that is the theoretical mass. But whenever efficiency is given, the who has given the question is expecting you to give the answer of experimental mass, not of theoretical mass. So you have to use this formula, that is eta equal to experimental mass by theoretical mass. Theoretical mass, you know, give the answer for experimental mass. So this is your net and final answer, not this. This is your answer. Clear? So this is for the copper. I hope you understood. Now next portion of the problem we will go for the oxygen. So now this is very important for oxygen. Please copy out or take a screenshot. I hope you taken this. Okay. Next, for oxygen. Now see here students, I told you, no? Here aqueous solution of CuSO4. So at cathode copper has gone. Now at anode you are thinking SO4 2 minus will go. No. At anode this is a aqueous solution, means instead of SO4 2 minus water will go here. And water will undergo oxidation because of the reduction potential value. We will explain in detail in the future classes. But just now you remember that whenever aqueous solution of CuSO4 is given, so at anode SO4 2 minus will not go for oxidation, water will go. So water will undergo oxidation. So I told you the ionic reaction of water, that is O2 will be liberated, electron will be liberated and H plus. If you are not comfortable, please remember one key point, complete one key point. If in a question they ask you to determine the volume of O2, if in a problem they ask you to determine the volume of O2, then whatever the electrolyte they have given, from that electrolyte you take anodic part as water only. Here anodic part SO4 2 minus is given, but in question oxygen is given, you calculate for water. Forget this SO4 2 minus. This is a one key point to remember. Okay, so you take for the water. Now see here, water at anode, oxygen will be at anode. This is a water. Now water will undergo oxidation. It will liberate one electron. So here oxygen gas will be liberated and here H plus will be liberated. Now we will balance the equation. So how much hydrogen I have? Here I have 2 oxygen, means 2, and here 4. So here 4. Now I got one stoichiometry relation between oxygen and electron. So I get 1 mole of oxygen by supplying 4 Faraday. Yes or no? So on supplying 4 Faraday, I am getting 1 mole of oxygen. Actually Faraday, how much I have? I have 1.2 Faraday. So how much mole I will get? I will get mole of O2. 1.2 into 1 by 4, that is 0.3 mole. So I got the moles of oxygen as 0.3 mole. Now they ask you to find volume of O2. So volume of O2 means from moles we have to convert into volume. Who will help? Ideal gas equation. PV equal to nRT. So V of O2 I required, so N of O2. So V of O2 equal to N of O2, and I told you R should be always used as 0.08314. Pressure should be maintained as 1 bar in bar. How much pressure they have given? See, a bar they have given. So temperature is 300 and pressure is 1 bar. And volume of moles of O2, how much we got? We got 0.3. So you can write down here 0.3. When you calculate volume of O2, so you will get the answer 0.3 into 0.08314 into 300. You will get 7.4826 liters. Why sir liter? Because we have taken the R value in terms of liter, bar per liter per mole per Kelvin. Clear? So you got the volume of O2 in terms of liter, that is 7.4826 liter. This is your answer? No. Why this is not your answer? Efficiency is given. So once more to use the formula for efficiency. So what is the formula for efficiency? Efficiency equal to experimental. Here I have volume. So I will take here experimental volume by theoretical volume multiply by 100. So how much efficiency they have given? They have given 80 equal to experimental. This what we have calculated, that is experimental or theoretical? This is theoretical because we are using certain formulas. So remember, whatever we are calculating using the formulas, that value is theoretical, not an experimental. So experimental volume by theoretical volume, how much? I have 7.4826 into 100. So experimental volume, when I calculated, I get the answer 7.4826 multiplied by 80 divided by 100. So net answer I will get, that is 5.98 liter or nearly equal to 6 liter. Sometimes answer may vary due to these values. Okay. So actual net answer, or you can write down 5.98 liter only. So actual answer is your this answer, not this answer, because this is a theoretical answer. And if in a question they have given the efficiency, please calculate the experimental value, because efficiency is given. If efficiency is not given, need not to calculate the experimental value. That self your answer will be there. You can copy out. If you have any doubt, please comment me. You can tell my mistake and you can solve this problem. Many problems will be given in your book. Please try to solve the problem. Thank you.